You cannot tell me that you get too old. You can't tell me it's too late.
Killer Mike won, and then Killer Mike arrested. The Grammys. DIYers, there was a lot of interesting reactions to Killer Mike, an OG in the game, a legend in the game, as an artist, someone that we got first introduced through a feature with Outkast, an Atlanta legend, Atlanta native, someone who does so much amazing work within the community. He speaks to the empowerment of our people. It was quite amazing to see how many people showed up for support and how many people showed up with criticism about him going to the Grammys and sweeping through every rap category. He beat folks like Travis Scott and a number of other people, and folks were not happy about it. However, I want to talk about more than just him winning. I want to play his acceptance speech because I do think there's some inspiring things that are going on here, but not for the reasons that most people are calling this inspiring. Here's Killer Mike accepting his award at the Grammys this year.
And the Grammy goes to Killer Mike. Michael.
Sweet. You cannot tell me that you get too old. You can't tell me it's too late.
All right.
You can't tell me dreams come true. It is a sweet.
That's right.
It is a sweet.
So as you can tell, he was supremely excited. He's going through a lot of things personally that he's been very public about, and there's a lot of different reactions. I want to go over one of the reactions from someone we've done reaction videos on before, a gentleman named Lee Daniels, who is a well-known exec in the music industry. He put up a tweet that went viral that was in celebration of Killer Mike winning this award. This year at the Grammys, Best Rap Album, 48-year-old rapper, Killer Mike. Best New Artist, 34-year-old singer. Songwriter of the Year, 41-year-old. Producer of the Year, 39 years old. Best R&B Song, 64-year-old singer. Best Rap Song, 48-year-old, featuring a 40-year-old and another 48-year-old. Facts.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Next slide. We got to stop saying this is a young man's game. These young artists aren't being developed and are falling by the wayside. Artist development takes about 3 to 5 years in the public eye, another 10 perfecting your craft before you get to the public eye. The reality is this is a ready or not game. Either you're ready or you're not. We are telling artists they don't need a label, they don't need a manager, they don't need anyone to put their music out. That's true. But if you want to be a real artist, you need to be developed. We don't tell athletes you don't need a coach. We don't tell actors you don't need a director. We don't tell anyone they don't have to go through the process except artists. Then we wonder why seasoned talent who's went through the process are winning. Artists, you need help if you want to last. I want to say this. I do think that it's awesome that you have all of these age groups that are winning at the Grammys. Let's not let that get past us, right? I feel like age in rap was such a weird conversation in 2023. And there's a lot of people just, for whatever reason, saying a lot of crazy things about those like myself who choose to create in their late 30s to early 40s. And that is awesome to see this many people winning within this age group. However, I disagree with the notion that the Grammys should be the validation factor. F*** the Grammys. When I think about the kind of people that have ran the Grammys, that have excluded hip-hop for the last 49 years. Shout out to Lloyd Lang. He put up a message about how they even do some of the dancehall artists and how they won't even televise those awards. I don't want to look at the win here for Killer Mike being that he won a Grammy at this age. I think it's so easy to paint the narrative of like, oh my gosh, 48-year-old rapper wins Best Rap Album, even when you're talking about Nas. It's so easy to paint those pictures and say, see, anybody can do it. No, not anybody can do it. Let's keep that a whole stack. When you hear the kind of work that Killer Mike had to do and be in a position to do when he self-financed this album to even be put up for consideration, you recognize that, in my opinion, should be the thing that us in hip-hop should be celebrating. give a damn about no Grammy. They don't validate a damn thing in this culture. With that said, I present you to this video.
I haven't told my wife I wanna rap again. After a 9-year hiatus making content. I don't know what she gon' say, but when I drop this, honestly, I wouldn't blame her if she jumped ship. Over the last few years, I took some dumb risk. Almost crumbled my business and made my gut wrench. But I'm an entrepreneur, and when that hunch hits, in the name of elevation, I get sucked in. I know I got a son, but is it ill-advised for me to revisit these dreams I had at 29? Would I be selfish if I brought this up at dinner time? My wife looked dead into my eyes and say, "You feeling fine?" I haven't told my wife I wanna rap again. I haven't told my wife I wanna rap again. Yeah. I haven't told my wife I wanna rap again. Not that I need her permission, but when I grab this pen, I need to have the peace of mind. You got my back in this.
Shout out to another platform that I think does a really great job of getting to stories and concepts and things that really are valuable to us as fans of music. And this is Idea Generation. They did an awesome breakdown about how Killer Mike bet $500,000 on himself and then put himself in position to win a Grammy.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
$500,000 on himself and won a Grammy at 48. In 2020, Killer Mike was at a crossroads. He had just finished his fourth successful Run the Jewels album with his partner in rhyme, LP. But instead of taking the sure thing and re-ing up for another RTJ record, Mike decided he wanted to express something more personal and embark on his first solo project since 2012. The problem? Mike didn't have a record deal as a solo artist at the time. His solution? Pay for the record himself to the tune of $500,000.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
That's a hell of a bet.
Mike hit the studio. He linked up with the legendary producer No ID, who helped steer the project, eventually landing Mike a contract with Loma Vista Recordings. The resulting album was eventually called Michael, and was an intimate and revealing look at Mike's entire life, from grappling with loss to his conflicted feelings about participating in the drug trade. The rollout for the album was also reflective of Killer Mike's new thoughtful approach. Instead of hitting clubs, Mike made appearances at churches across the country. He delivered an extremely personal rendition of Motherless on Fallon, crying on national TV as he sang and rapped about his late mother and grandmother. And without the allure of a slam dunk radio hit to offer other artists, Mike still landed features from Future, Young Thug, and the ever so elusive Andre 3000. At the 66 Grammy Awards, Michael swept the rap categories, picking up trophies for the best rap song, the best rap performance, and becoming the oldest rapper ever at 48 years young to win the best rap album. So let this serve as a reminder that it's never too late to start that project that you've been thinking about, and you've always had enough chips to better yourself. For Idea Generation, I'm Tyrell. Peace.
What I get as a seasoned artist is you cannot be afraid to bet on yourself. It was really unfortunate that in a night that should have been completely celebratory, that it had to unfortunately end with this. And I'm not highlighting this to embarrass this brother. I'm highlighting this to show you that industry plays a different way. This was the scene after he won his awards. And the thing about media that's so tricky, my friends, is that the folks that are in charge of media, they understand how long an image like this lasts. They know when all of the police brutality was going on, when it was all kind of protests left and right from police brutality, and they kept showing the violent exchange that an officer and the victim had over and over and over again, and these videos got shared. There are people in the media that understand these things have a stickiness factor. This, to me, especially when you start to hear stories of, well, this happened because of some kind of an altercation with security at the Grammys, it starts to make me like put my full hat on and be like, damn. So we couldn't let the brother that's about positivity, that's about self-reflection, that's about telling very authentic stories, we couldn't let him win unscathed. Well, this was the scene after he won his 3 awards, which I just don't know how anybody in this environment could even let this go down, because this is a bad look on the Grammys themselves, you would think. They have this brother in handcuffs shortly after in his suit. He yells out, "Are you serious?" And these people are just watching, they're waving, and they're moving about their business. This is why I say stop using these industry metrics as a measurement for what's possible. The real story in this, to me, is Killer Mike investing that $500,000 and betting it on himself. For him to move away from what was already a successful campaign and collaboration with LP as a part of Run the Jewels and saying, I'm going to make my first album since 2012 and I'm going to bet it on myself. I'm going to work with a producer like No ID and allow him to coach me to greatness and eventually awards, and then to see it through, even going through a new label situation, deciding to embark on this before he even had any kind of extra support lined up. To me, that's the story. I just look at all the madness that's going on with the topics that are the most prevalent, the most popular, or appears to be, because we know this whole thing is a damn rigged game. And it's beautiful to see someone like Killer Mike win. It's unfortunate to see those who understand the power of imagery fuck around with it. And it's something that I didn't watch the Grammys. I stopped watching the Grammys years ago. But when I looked at my timeline and I saw Killer Mike won as a trending topic, and then Killer Mike arrested, I didn't even have to click on it to know exactly what happened. And it's unfortunate. These folks know. Because you look at a Killer Mike and the kind of things that he raps about, you got to think to yourself, who does that inspire? That inspires a lot of young minds that say, maybe I don't have to rap about this even though I don't live this life. Maybe I can rap about some of the things that are authentic to me. Look what Killer Mike did. No, because in the end, they still treated him like a nigga, put him in handcuffs, and moved right on along with the show like nothing ever happened. It is unfortunate, but it is fortunate to see someone at this stage of their life doing the amazing things that Killer Mike is doing. I look at this and I say, and this goes for any of my friends that are in the industry, I look at this and say, we knew that you were worthy of awards before they gave you one. And if you never get one, you already won. Being as great as who you are and what you do. These folks can't validate what they can't understand. They can't validate what they didn't build. But those are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations once again to the legend, Killer Mike. What are your thoughts?
DIY.
DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.